Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Politics is a very interesting game. And just like I keep on saying on this platform, in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. William Samoei Arap Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, yesterday attended the official launch of Safaricom in Ethiopia. And during that visit, I noted the absence of Mount Kenya leaders. And that's significant politically speaking. In this video, I want us to look at why William Ruto locked out leaders from Mount Kenya region from this specific trip. Before we get into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us get back to the main issue. What we do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. And my role is specifically to see for you what you cannot see with your naked eyes. William Ruto yesterday attended the official launch of Safaricom in Ethiopia. And it's significant because William Ruto was accompanied by Davis Chirchir, Oscar Sudi, businessman David Langat, and Eden Duale. No senior or serious Mount Kenya leader accompanied William Samoei Arap Ruto. Moses Kuria, for example, has been nominated to be the Minister for Trade. He was missing in this particular event. So the question is, why were they left out? That question is significant because Mount Kenya region voted for Kenya Kwanza as a political party. And for me, that's significant politically speaking because number one, it is coming at a time when none other than Miguna Miguna had actually tweeted that there were plans to undermine Rigathi Gachagua in government. Earlier on, the former Nyeri town member of parliament, Wambungu Ngunjiri, had also posted something to the effect that there were plans to paint Rigathi Gachagua in bad light. Rigathi Gachagua was the representative. He was supposed to take care of Mount Kenya region. Number two, when you talk of Safaricom, then you are talking of business. So the trip was, in my view, significant by the fact that Safaricom itself will be operating in Ethiopia, and they were also granted the permit to run mobile money, which in my view is a huge deal. Safaricom itself employs over 500,000 people in the Republic alone. Directly, they employ 600 people. So the fact that Safaricom was being launched in Ethiopia and Mount Kenya as the business-oriented community in this republic were not represented simply means that there was something. And the presence of Oscar Sudi, in my view, is also suspect. Oscar Sudi is what Junet Mohammed is to Raila Odinga. And I've always stated that severally. Number two, why the visit is significant is the ownership of Safaricom. Who owns Safaricom? Now, let us get back just before the election. Before the elections, Kenya Kwanza were very clear that Safaricom was under state capture through their Fuliza program. But who owns Safaricom as we speak? Safaricom is majorly owned by, I think there's some 35% share of government, and then there is the Vodacom, I think, and then there is a company which is called Mobi Telea. That company owns some mysterious shares in Safaricom. According to those in the know, they always claim that the former President Moi and his deep state were part of it. Uhuru Kenyatta, when he took over, is also part of it. And that can explain why William Ruto took with him these people, Oscar Sudi and David Langat. I want to believe that once Safaricom will start the operation fully in Ethiopia, I wouldn't be surprised that another mobility layer would be unveiled, because William Ruto is also keen on venturing into the telecom industry. And I suspect that's why he went with Oscar Sudi. And the other important thing is that why that trip is important is that William Ruto came to power the other day. And as the Dom, he would also want to create his own business connections. And how can William Ruto make those business connections? By having people he trusts around him. William Ruto trusts Oscar Sudi than any other person. If you look at this trip, there was even Aden Duale and Davis Churchill. It reminds you of Jubilee government, first term, where we had URP and TNA, because the Kikuyus were actually in TNA. So Ruto actually went to Ethiopia with his trusted allies from URP. That is the fact, and you can't deny that fact. So basically, William Ruto is now creating, in my view, his new connection. And David Langat, a billionaire in his own account, is going to play a key role for William Ruto and his business interest as a president of the Republic of Kenya. I also tend to think that number 4, when he left these guys out, is that William Ruto is actually keen on dismantling the existing business cartels in the country, which basically means Ruto is trying to create his own business cartels. You know, when Kibaki took over in 2002, a company by the name TransCentury, for those who remember, emerged. When Uhuru took over, TransCentury, a bit of didn't really thrive. But companies like Equity, Family Bank, even these other universities which are now thriving, were able to do so because of the patronage of Kibaki and the government, and because of the fact that the government by that time felt that Moi, having been in power for 40 years, managed to suppress success of most of the Kikuyu-owned businesses. So when Kibaki took over, the Kikuyus ensured that they actually managed to propel some of their business ventures into success. Now, when Uhuru came, a new team came, and the reason why Kikuyus really didn't support Uhuru is because of the fact that most of them felt that Uhuru Kenyatta focused more on the business of the family at the expense of communal businesses. So William Ruto going to Ethiopia minus the Kikuyu business elite, in my view, is significant. Because if you look at Safaricom is one of the most valuable brands in East Africa, generally in Africa. It has a market capitalization of 15.4 billion US dollars. That's Safaricom. So if, for example, they can just take a bit of it and take control of the Ethiopian market and then deny the current people who are doing business, I think William Ruto is going to succeed. And I also tend to think that based on this particular trip, I know William Ruto is supposed to go to Uganda tomorrow. Then on Monday will be in Tanzania. Probably we will see other people going, accompanying him. But you see, those other trips are not business. The one in Ethiopia is what was all about business. And I also tend to think that William Ruto probably is also trying to build international networks with the trusted allies. The fact that Oscar Sudi accompanied the DP, David Langat, tell me if there was some business person in Ethiopia who wanted connections with the Kenya. Who do you think gave out the number? Do you think they gave out the number of the president? Or probably the president asks Oscar Sudi, please, can you deal with that? So the fact, and this is the truth, is that William Ruto is also creating his international networks. And is going to create that international networks with the trusted allies. And the trusted allies will only come from his community. The people he believes cannot destroy him. Because, for example, someone like Ndindi Nyoro is already a billionaire. Rigathi Gachagua, if you put more money on them, on their hands, what it would mean is that in the next few years, they can even decide to challenge Ruto. They can even thwart Ruto's moves. So at this stage, William Ruto would want to have international networks, which is creating, but with his trusted allies. I don't know what you think, but for me, the fact that William Ruto went to Ethiopia on a serious business, in his own account, he stated that he was actually sent by Kenyans and left out the Mount Kenya people who are perceived to be the business people in this country is significant. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.